What's happening, folks? Welcome back to part 3 of the Audi S3 recommissioning series. This should be the last and final episode, I'm hoping, because all I've got to do now is a full service, timing belt, water pump and a new auxiliary belt with tensioner. So at the end of this, we'll probably do a wee bit of soldering and sorting out the wiring and the driver's door for the window regulator, because that's not working. But aye, let's quit talking and get stuck right in. Bosh! I wonder how many folk have done that on YouTube before. Big up Big John. So we've got our timing belt, tensioner, 2 idler pulleys, new bolts, so we're good for that. Bosh! Again, spark plugs, cabin filter, air filter, oil filter, oil, one almost went off the back, and then we have our water pump here. So I think what I'll be doing tonight, because it's getting on a wee bit, is I shall just be doing the service kit, because I'm pretty tired and I'll leave the timing belt to do tomorrow. Whoever put this on didn't want it coming back off. 25.5 Newton meters my hole. Oh my God almighty, man. Who's put this on, man? It's the big show. That's a bloody joke. Unlike the last guy that changed this oil filter, I'm tightening it up with a built-in torque wrench in my elbow. And like I said in previous videos, it's calibrated weekly. So oil filter's on perfectly tight, not too tight, and the drain plug's back in. Next up, we're going to go on to the sump plug, get that back in, and again, built-in torque wrench, you can't go wrong when it's in your elbow. So that's nice and tight. And now we're moving on to the spark plugs, so it's off with the airbox we go. Off with the coils next, get all 4 of them out, and the spark plugs were absolutely solid to take out of this again. So the guy who last serviced this did not want any of the parts getting changed, so aye, thanks for that, mate. Out with the old black dirty, not been changed for a while spark plugs, and in with the new ones, just tightened up nicely, not over tight like the last guy. So once they're in, we can get it all rebuilt. Next up, it's in with the wet stuff. I think it took about 5.5 litres, I'm not 100% sure. And then I thought it was a standard air filter in it, but it actually had a Piper cross panel filter in, so just gave that a wee pat out because the compressor's not working to blow it out. Seemed all pretty good, so back in we go, and time to fit the box back on. It's the next day now, just done the service last night. I just put the engine cover and the airbox all back on just for the sake of saying that the service is finished, but all that needs to come back off now so that we can crack on and get the timing belt done. So aye, without further ado, let's get into it. First protocol on the job is get that airbox off for the second time. Then we're just getting the boost pipes pulled out the way. That's the intake for the turbo. Then I actually started stripping the coils out because I was going to take cylinder 1 out just to find top dead centre for the purpose of the video, but I ended up not doing that, so it was a bit of a waste of time. Anyway, onto the ash canister at the front corner, just getting that off the fuel rail, and then it was onto the windscreen filler neck, just getting that out of the way for a couple of bolts, and then onto the expansion bottle. So yeah, pretty much straightforward. So our top end is pretty much stripped down apart from the engine mount. We've got the coolant expansion bottle there, sits in there. I just take the lid off of the filler pot off the windscreen bottle, just lets you get in it. There's a couple of bolts here and there for the ash canister, which is a wee black box I removed from in here. So with that out of the way, I could then get into the old tensioner pulley for the serpentine belt, and I've removed that. So we've got a new pulley to go on and serpentine belt. So let's head underneath now and we'll get cracked on. All there is to do under here is this Jubilee clip here onto this boost pipe. Take these two, I think they're T25 bolts, take them out of the way, and then that'll let this loose. And then I don't know if you can see up there, there's a wee horseshoe clip, a wee C clip. I'll be removing that, and then that'll get this full boost pipe out of the way, and then we can get the crank pulley, just all these multi-spline bolts, take them out of the way, leave that centre bolt in, and then we'll be good to jack up the bottom of the sump. We'll get a bit of wood under there, and then get the jack underneath it, and we can head back up to the top and get the engine mount off. With the engine mount out the way now, there's a couple of wee bolts, you can't really see, but there's a bolt in there that you need to actually jack the car up, the engine up, sorry. So you'll see I've got my block of wood, my jack underneath the sump, and I've just lifted it up a wee bit so I can get in at that bolt. And then what we'll need to do to get in at the other two, because there's 3 on this mount if I remember rightly, I'll need to lower the engine right down as low as it will go to get to the bolts at the bottom. If you've never done one of these timing belts before, then just a wee tip: to get this engine mount out, it's an absolute nightmare. So I had to take the timing covers off top and bottom, and get the engine jacked up as far as I could till it didn't feel quite right. So jack it right up, and then the mount should pull out. So I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't get a step ahead of myself. So I went to time the engine up there, but I didn't realise that there's no timing marks on this face of the cog or the crank cog at all. It's all on the timing casing. So that mark there has to line up, if I can find it, with a wee mark there. So that has to line up there. So I'll need to put it all back together. Well, I'll just need to set that on and set that on in place, and then I can turn the crank using that. And then the top cam, this is a twin cam engine, but only one cam is driven off the timing belt, and then the cam runs along here where there's a chain on this side which then drives the inlet cam. So that's why it's only got one camshaft pulley on this side. But there's a mark just down there where my finger is. Again, it needs to line up with the arrow up here, and then that'll be good to get slackened off. Right, and that is us. I've just put a wee bit of Tipex on the crank pulley there. If you can just see below the arrow, it just highlights the wee groove that's in the crank pulley. Just a good bit better to see. So that's in line there, and I'm very surprised, I didn't notice, but this still has an original Audi belt on it, if you can see it there. Bearing in mind that the car's done 120,000 miles and it's 15 years old, so I'm guessing that'll be an original belt. I don't know if there'll be a date or anything on it, but that's mental that that's lasted so long. So as you can see, my timing mark right there, it's just a wee bit out, but it's maybe half a tooth out, but I reckon that's just because the belt's probably got a wee bit of stretch in it. So let's just keep going and get it stripped down. The strip down process at this stage is pretty straightforward. It's just slacking off the tensioner, get the belt out of the way, and then the two idler pulleys, they just get removed also. You get new bolts supplied with them, and then it's down to the water pump now to get, I think it was 4 or 5 bolts on here, but just a good dunk with a hammer, that'll get them out of the way. That'll break the seal and get it a bit easier to pull out, and once you do get it pulled out, she'll be treating like a knackered fridge. The engineer now, the timing mark on the camshaft pulley is bang on the money just here. They put the timing mark on the crank pulley down the bottom is bang on the money. What I do normally is I turn the crank 4 times, which then turns the camshaft twice, I think it's every 2 turns of the crank is 1 turn of the camshaft. So that's all done. And our tensioner mark, don't know if you can see it there, yep, just the wee green mark is bang in between that gap, so pretty happy with that. And for once, if anyone's watched my other videos, I've actually used a torque wrench for once. So that's been torqued to 25 Newton meters. That idler pulley there has been torqued to 35 Newton meters, and the one in the lower bottom is 25 Newton meters. So take a screenshot, because that's probably the last time you'll see this getting used on this channel again. Before I forget, I'm not going to film the rest of the rebuild. I'm just going to go 3, 2, 1. All built up, ready for the first turn of the key. Always a nerve-wracking moment, but let's see how we get on. Priming the fuel pump. We're running anyway. That's us all built back up now. Everything is done apart from the driver's door electrics, which we'll get cracked on with now. But oil levels all been checked, and the cooling system's all been bled up now, so it's all fine. She's been running for the last 15 minutes, no overheating issues, no nothing, so everything's all good. So we'll get cracked on with this wee repair in here that's already been repaired at some point, but we'll need to get it done again because that's a shambles. It's just had tape used on it. I never bothered filming that wee repair purely because I couldn't be bothered filming it for the sake of one wee broken wire. So it's been soldered, repaired, car's back together, and as you'll notice, it's not behind me anymore. It's my own car that's been brought in out of the elements. So the S3's sitting waiting to get picked up now that it's all good to go. And this is going to be the end of this video and the last episode of the S3 recommissioning series that we're calling it. So if you like if you like the video, leave us a wee thumbs up, a wee comment what you thought, and even as far as a wee subscribe if you're feeling generous. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and catch you in the next one.